A group of girls stroll in, joking about Lux peeping. Spoiler, they're right. 5 years ago, the empire of Arcadia collapsed like your toxic ex's Instagram account after getting exposed. A single black mechanical dragon pulled off a solo coup. Yes, one dude, one dragon, no backup. This walking apocalypse with wings nuked an empire that had ruled for centuries. His name, nobody knows. His reputation, insane. The people called him the Black Hero. Because let's face it, Mr. Mysterious Dragon Guy who yeeted a whole government doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Fast forward to the present, we're in the kingdom of Atismata, formerly known as Arcadia 2.0, where our main character, Lux, a charming little cinnamon roll with plot armor thicker than the walls of Fort Knox, is chasing a cat. Why? Because anime logic. This furball stole a girl's purse, and Lux, being the self-righteous anime protagonist with a tragic past, decided to go full Naruto parkour mode across rooftops. Plot twist, he crashes straight through the ceiling of the girl's bathhouse. Because of course he does, and just to make things worse, he lands face first onto the most important girl in the entire school, because fate has a sense of humor and zero chill. The girl, Leisha, gives him the "you done messed up" smile and asks if he's got any last words before she vaporizes him. Our boy Lux, absolute giga brain move. He remembers some sage old man's advice, always compliment girls. So, what does he do? He blurts out, "You're cute and have a youthful figure," and just like that, he's sentenced to horny jail without trial. Cut to prison, where Lux is lamenting his life choices, probably wondering if this is what the Black Hero died for. A new character enters, Krulcifer, the Ice Queen, and future member of Lux's reverse harem. She's eyeing his dual swords, especially the edgy black one, which screams main character energy. But before we get into lore dumps, another waifu, Chalice, shows up and drags Lux to the headmistress like a kid being called to the principal's office. Surprise! The headmistress isn't mad. In fact, she's weirdly chill about the bathhouse. Why? Because plot. Turns out she knows Lux is the prince of the destroyed Arcadia Empire. And guess what? She wants him to work at this elite drag ride academy for girls. Yes, a girls-only combat school wants to hire the dude who just got pantsed by destiny. Why? Because all the other competent men were wiped out in the coup, and Lux, despite being called the weakest undefeated, is kind of a big deal. Before Lux can say no, Leisha kicks in the door with the kind of energy only a tsundere princess can bring. She's fuming. This perverted peasant dared to breathe the same air as her, and now they want him to work here over her royal dead body. So she throws down the ultimate anime gauntlet, a duel. If she wins, he goes to jail. If he wins, he gets a job offer, a harem pass, and probably a redemption arc. The girls in the academy, all part-time drag night. Trainees and full-time haters cheer her on like it's WrestleMania, but the headmistress drops the T. Lux is undefeated. The guy never loses. He even won the Royal Capital Tournament. Cue Leisha choking on her own ego. Leisha, also known as Princess Smackdown, announces to the whole academy that she's going to humiliate the Prince of the Fallen Empire in front of everyone. Oh, and in case you didn't catch it, yes, she's Lisa Shate Atismata, first princess of the new empire, because obviously the girl Lux landed on has to be royalty. It's anime lore. Battle day comes, and it's time for machine dragon fisticuffs. Lux summons his ride, the Wyvern. It's your basic anime starter pack. Reliable, boring, mid-tier. Leisha, oh, she whips out a divine drag ride called Tiamat, a machine so OP it makes Lux's Wyvern look like a tricycle. Leisha opens fire. Lux dodges like he's in a rhythm game on expert mode. Then she fakes him out and slices his sword in half like it's made of wet noodles. The audience is stunned. Lux is cornered, but don't count him out yet. This is only the beginning of his underdog, overhyped rise to the top. Lux looks at Leisha mid-air, the tension still crackling between them like a live wire, and tries to call a timeout. He proposes a favor. If their duel ends in a draw like this, maybe they could just talk it out. He even apologizes again for his accidental VIP ticket into her royal bath time. But Lisha, oh, she's having none of it. That apology just adds fuel to her already raging fire. Her eyes narrow with pure wrath, and she declares she'll show Lux the real power of Tiamat. She charges up her deadliest move, Seven Heads, and even advises him like a schoolteacher scolding a kid, ditch your broken-down wyvern and use your black sword device already. But Lux, ever the stubborn martyr, refuses. So she unleashes the attack anyway. Lux barely dodges the incoming barrage of energy, but the shockwaves obliterate the safety barriers like they were made of wet paper. Lisha's confident that this showdown will end in a tie if they keep it up, so she shifts tactics, activating a divine ability that manipulates gravity itself. Lux is slammed into the dirt like a bug under a boot, and just when she's about to end it with a finishing blow, Karma arrives in the form of an abyss, a hideous monster that should have stayed buried in the ruins, crashing their one-on-one drama with all the subtlety of a nuclear warhead. In the chaos, Lux jumps in front of Lisha to shield her from the beast's lunge, because why not add human meat shield to his resume? As students are evacuated, Lux quickly realizes he's way out of his league against this thing and turns to Lisha. He begs for a favor, get in position and fire off the Seven Heads again, but only after he raises his battered sword as a signal. Lisha, confused but trusting him, agrees, because the kingdom's safety now hangs in the balance. Lux distracts the monster, dancing around its attacks, desperately trying to find that one perfect opening. When the abyss finally charges at him, with claws aimed straight for his life, he raises his broken blade skyward. Lisha doesn't hesitate. She unleashes the full wrath of Tiamat's Seven Heads, blasting the monster into oblivion. Lux's wyvern crashes hard after the impact, and Lisha rushes to him, shaken and silent. Later, while tending to his wounds with a bowl of water and a towel, yeah, you read that right, the princess is now in nurse mode, Lisha starts to open up. She thanks Lux for protecting her and reveals the real reason she challenged him to a duel. He saw the cursed crest of the old empire on her body. She won't say how she got it, but she asks him to never speak of it. Lux, in peak loyal dog fashion, swears on his sword device to keep her secret. Before leaving, Lisha wonders why Lux is so obsessed with not using his true power, his black sword. He stays silent, secrets for secrets apparently. She informs him that starting tomorrow, he's joining the academy as a Royal Knight cadet. And just before walking away, she tells him to stop calling her princess and just call her Lisha, a D classmate now. But little do they know, Krulsifer's been eavesdropping on every single word, lurking like a mysterious puppet. Master waiting for her turn to pull strings. The next morning, Lux walks into the classroom like a walking contradiction, half war hero, half unwanted guest. The teacher introduces him to the class, and before he can even breathe, the girls erupt into chaotic gossip. That's the guy who destroyed a gargoyle with the princess. Isn't he the one who fell into her bath? Is he single? It's like a live tabloid, and Lux is the unwilling cover story. Lux spots a familiar face, Philippi, his sleepy-eyed childhood friend. Since he doesn't have his own textbook, he casually asks to share hers, calling her Fee-chan like it's still nap time in elementary school. The girls lose it. Whispers spread like wildfire. Fee-chan, did he just use a nickname? Meanwhile, Lisha, sitting nearby, is visibly twitching. Jealousy? Absolutely. Subtlety? Non-existent. Class ends, and Lux is instantly mobbed by girls, throwing job requests at him like he's a walking customer service desk. They want repairs, rides, snacks, everything except peace. Lisha storms in like an offended queen, shoving past the crowd and declaring that she gets exclusive rights to him as her personal assistant. Because apparently, now he's a prize to be won. But before anyone can argue, Krulsifer enters like she owns the place and casually hijacks the moment. She coolly informs Lux that the headmistress has personally requested his help. Lux breathes a sigh of relief, thinking he's being rescued. But Krulsifer, she's got her own plans. On their way, she drops the bomb. Has he ever heard of the Black Hero? The legendary Drag Knight who crushed the old empire with a single machine. Yeah, she wants Lux to help her find him, not because of justice. Oh no, because she's got unfinished business with the guy. Fast forward to the next morning, Lux wakes up groggy and reaches out for what he thinks is his blanket. Turns out it's Fluffy. The girl's somehow in his bed, snoozing like a cat. Lux freaks out internally, trying to compute how she got in. Just then, Tilfilt, Fluffy's hyper little sister, busts through the door to wake her up, sees them together, and nopes out of there faster than you can say misunderstanding. Seconds later, the entire school knows about it, because, of course they do. Later that day, Lux heads to the mechanics workshop to complete a job request. And surprise, Lisha's already there. She tells him she f's wyverns now, since she's in the chivalric order. It's a squad of elite cadets, and she's decided Lux is worthy enough to join their little special forces club. Under the excuse of team bonding, she drags him out for lunch. Of course, she forgets her wallet, so Lux ends up paying for her overly sweet pastries, which makes her blush like a schoolgirl on her first date. Lisha tries to bring up the fluttery feeling in her chest, clearly hinting she's falling for him, but our dense boy Lux just smiles and offers to take her to the top of the bell tower. Real smooth. He tells her he used to clean it as a handyman, so it's kind of his secret chill spot. They sit together as the wind blows through the tower, and for once, it's quiet. Lux compliments her drag ride skills and says she's a true princess, a real one, not just by title. That hits Lisha hard. She turns serious and asks him, what does it mean to be a proper princess? So our girl Lisha, crowned princess by default and emotionally abandoned like a Black Friday cart, drops her royal trauma dump right on Lux like he's a free therapist. She confesses that she was held hostage by the old empire, not tortured, branded like cattle on her stomach, and just when she needed her dear old dad to save her. Nope, man chose politics over parenthood. Oof, she was literally left on red during a coup d'etat, now stuck wearing the crown of a kingdom that let her rot. She's pretending to be a flawless princess while internally spiraling harder than a shonen protagonist in a rainstorm. Lux, being the emotionally numb cinnamon roll that he is, listens quietly, offering zero deep thoughts but still managing to give her the look. You know, that I too have plot convenient trauma stare. She stares back, probably wondering if he's the black hero who destroyed the old regime, or just a convenient idiot with abs. Lux is dragged back into his personal hellscape, literally dreaming of the day his older brother Fugil pulled a full Game of Thrones, massacring everyone in the royal castle. Lux, wide-eyed and drenched in despair, begs his brother for an explanation. Why the bloodbath? Weren't they supposed to minimize casualties? Fugil, being the walking embodiment of cold ambition, basically tells him, you're too soft, you'll never be king, you're weak. Ouch. That line hits harder than Bahamut's laser beam. The school throws a surprise party where Lux is now suddenly sparring with other elite students. Apparently, this school has no chill. And just as things calm down, guess who drops in? Another abyss monster has decided to crash the kingdom like it's a free buffet. Lisha and her squad, rocking their drag rides, rush into action as part of the chivalric order. Lux tags along, growing more suspicious by the day about how these monsters keep showing up like bad exes in anime. When the squad confronts this slime-soaked creature, they prep for a synchronized takedown. But nope, not today. A creepy whistle cuts through the air and boom! The abyss self-destructs, revealing a pack of flying gargoyles led by none other than Regard, a traitorous captain of the old Arcadia Empire. Whistle again. Gargoyles go berserk. Talk about weaponized sound design. Nico calls for backup, but the closest ride is an old wyvern. No problem. Lux volunteers himself like it's a charity event. Meanwhile, Lisha is fighting like her kingdom depends on it, because, well, it kinda does. Her squad gets wrecked, but she refuses to back down. She charges after Regard alone, believing the whistle is key to controlling the monsters. But it's a trap. She's ambushed by the rebel army and quickly overwhelmed. Regard, proving he's both a villain and a creep, taunts her while ripping her clothes and exposing the cursed crest burned into her stomach. "Remember this," he sneers. "I'm the one who gave it to you." Disgusting. Her trauma explodes. In a rage, she hurls her sword and actually slices his cheek. Queen behavior. But Regard isn't done. He raises his weapon for the kill until Lux crashes into the scene like a divine judgment missile. Lux tells her that he gets it. He too knows what it feels like to fail, to lose people, to be haunted by what-ifs. But he's not running anymore. Not today. He dismisses his weak wyvern and finally unleashes his black sword device. Cue dramatic light show. The legendary drag ride. Bahamut descends from anime heaven like, let's end this man's whole career. Regard freezes. He recognizes the black hero. But before he can even react, Lux vaporizes every gargoyle in the sky with one swing. Regard, fuming, charges. Lux doesn't flinch. With all the power of someone tired of being called weak, he launches a god-tier attack that turns Regard into airborne ashes. Justice served flaming. The next day, total whiplash. The girls at the academy throw Lux a surprise party to celebrate his victory and new enrollment. Balloons, banners, and lots of blushing. Not everyone trusts him yet, but hey, girls love a mysterious swordsman with trauma. Enter the headmistress, who clearly thrives on chaos. She gives Lux a special request form and announces a school-wide challenge. Anyone who holds the form for a full week gets Lux as their personal assistant. 1 hour to steal it from him. The girls, feral. Lux, screaming. He flees like it's a zombie apocalypse. He hides in the workshop, where Leisha finds him and immediately traps him using the classic "I need Bahamut" data trick. Lux panics, asks to be put down, and bolts as soon as she loosens her grip. Two can play dirty. He hides in some bushes. Philippi finds him and reveals her motivation. Cake. The headmistress promised her sweets if she caught Lux. Philippi, powered by desert energy, body locks Lux until he nearly passes out. But when the request form falls out of his coat, Lux ditches her with a, "We'll eat cake later, I swear." With time running out, Lux finds the worst possible hiding place, the girls' changing room. He ducks behind some crates just as a group of girls stroll in, joking about Lux peeping. Spoiler, they're right. Caught in Ultra HD 4K by Krulsifer, who finds the manual they're looking for. And Lux crouches like a cornered raccoon, but instead of screaming, Krulsifer plays it cool. She tells the girls she's skipping training, and once they're gone, she locks eyes with Lux. Game's over, by the way. Ended 5 minutes ago. Lux, stunned, asks for the form back, but it's too late. Krulsifer, with the smuggest smirk, in anime history, whispers in his ear, "You're mine for the next 7 days. I want you to be my boyfriend." And that's how Lux, destroyer of monsters, survivor of family betrayal, and wielder of legendary mechs, got tricked into fake dating a princess with ice-cold sass. Subscribe if you want to see if Lux survives the next week without crying, or without his mommy, probably both. I will see you in the next video to destroy the next anime series.